Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Twinfluence, where we talk to you about all things artificial intelligence and whatever else we can come up with. And today we want to talk about one of the updates with Canva and Canva AI to the best of our ability.
Yeah, the best of our ability because, everything is new for everybody, at least the first time. And we might as well learn with people and not just not know what we're doing with it. So show us what are you thinking about it? Because Canva AI is pretty new to me and I haven't played with it as much as I would like.
Me either, but I have done a few things in Canva design. However, to make things easy or simple, let's do the easy. Now, just to kind of step back a little bit, because many of us that use Canva every single day, we may not have noticed the change. So we've seen that you can use a version of ChatGPT within Canva, within Google Docs, Magic Write. That we've all done. We've even talked about how to create projects in Canva like we do in ChatGPT. But now, when you log into Canva and you're on the home screen, so this is my home screen, don't judge me. I do have projects. Notice up here at the top, you have your designs, if we're working from left to right. You have templates. This was here before. And now you have Canva AI. And today we're going to focus on Canva images. However, you do have design for me. We're going to go with, let me go back to Canva AI because I'm clicking away. Click that X. We're going to work with Canva, create an image. Most of us, I don't know about you, Mina, but we've been using drafting docs. And that's typically how I was using Canva, like ChatGPT. How about you?
No. Like I'm really good at using Canva to like edit my YouTube videos, but that's even new to me, like drafting a doc. And I don't know if you want to go there, but
I'll
the
do that
AI
first just
feature.
to I'll click it just because I do think you probably because we've talked about it before, but it's been a minute. So drafting a doc, this is similar to it looks just like ChatGPT. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, totally. Because it says it's asking you to do something. Okay.
Easy button. I wish I had a button. So if you do click on Canva AI and you select one of the options at the bottom, like I click like draft the doc, simply click on the X to get back to the other four options. So today we're going to talk about creating an image. And Mina, I don't know if I'll go first and then you tell me how you would use it because you were actually using what used to be called Canva Create before create an image was an option. So within the last 2 months, Canva has made some really major updates. As you can see, it's been a minute for me 6 months ago. So I'm going to go here. Here's the update I did notice prior to um, Canva AI, there was Canva Create, and you could just ask Canva, I want to call it ChatGPT, to create an image. Now you can upload your own images. So what I thought I would do is just test it out because it's been a while, as you can see, 6 months. And so I'm going to do what I did before. We're going to go with create a storybook image. So I'm going to say create a storybook image using the image provided, create a scene with the image twins at a coffee shop drinking coffee on a spring day. And then we'll upload the image. Now, what I can say is when I click the plus sign and I choose add media, the difference here is that they haven't figured out or they haven't given us the ability to add to search in our folders. So because I have Canva Pro, I don't have the option to go find my images. So even before we went live, I had to go download some images. So here we are. So I'll upload new images. There they are. So I'm going to upload, let's go with this one. We'll upload that one first. Oh, I might as well upload all of them. Let's go with all of them. Boom. Doosh, 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 doosh. So I'm adding additional images. So you can add them from your computer. I had to download them. Remember, Mina, we were trying the copy, cut, and paste. I didn't see that option. So I'll go with, which one do you like? This one or this one? It's like the eye doctor. This one or this one?
Uh, one or two? Yeah, I do one.
All right, we'll go with that one. So when I click, then bottom right-hand corner, we're going to use the image. And then once it's loaded, we'll just click the arrow. Now, once I come back, I'll show you some other thing that I've noticed. Other things that I've seen as updates in Canva AI and images. So once we test this one out, we'll come back and talk about all of these. I'm hot. This is what it's
So,
like.
and you know what I'm thinking is, while that's thinking about its thinking, is I want to do the same thing. I put a prompt in mine, and this time without an image.
We look like little babies.
Oh
It
my
duplicated
gosh.
us over here.
And you know what's interesting is it grabbed the lighter hair color. So can you click on
Hmm.
one of those? The first one.
I feel
I
like
like
I
the,
like this one.
well, I'm curious. Okay, try that one, but I'm curious about the first one, but click on it.
I can click the first one,
It doesn't
but
matter.
I
Just
like
I'm
this one
just
the best. That's the one
can
I
you
like.
open it up and make it bigger or no?
Yes. So here's what you can do is notice we can download it right away. So I downloaded it to my computer. These three dots give me the ability to copy it. I can report it like something went weird, or I can delete it. So let's go ahead and click edit. So we get an entirely new window. So my hair color in that image was definitely different, but we do look the same.
Does it?
Is that coffee or is that hot chocolate with
We're
marshmallows?
gonna go with this coffee, right? I
Coffee.
mean, hot chocolate, but that looks really, I really
Looks pretty
like it.
good.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, so let me go back. That's kind of cool. So Mina, we could take this image and we could create a storybook about twins with our own images. That update, I like that update. So let me go back. Let me go back to Canva, the dashboard.
How do you get back to where you were?
So what
So
you would do is you click Canva AI, and once you click Canva AI, once you choose create an image, you're gonna see the recently created
oh,
image.
okay, because I was like, no, don't make it go away.
And here's some other things everyone should know is when you're in images, the difference with, well, I should say ChatGPT as well. When you start to create images, they only give you so many credits. The same thing in Canva. So notice every single month I get 500 images because I have Pro. It's worth Pro. This is worth
Oh, I
every
need to
penny
use my 500 images, is what you're saying.
that every month.
Oh,
But if you have the free
what?
version, you get 50.
Okay.
So
But
I
that's
want to
still
do this
50. I
again.
mean, that's
Go
more than
ahead.
one a day at least.
Right. So I want to do it again, and I'm going to say create a create an image. A is a
But
storybook? Is that what I want? What do you think? Is there another
I,
way?
we call it a picture book in education. You know, what I like is there's a mic there. So if you're like, just say it, you could just say it out loud instead of typing it. But I just noticed that, which is
You do
nice.
that one. I'm going to type. I'll let you. I think this is similar to using Chat GPT because it says we could chat. So I'll let you play with that one in a minute. Make sure your sound is turned off. Okay, so create an image. What did you call it? What did you give it?
Picture book.
A create a picture book image using the added image of twins in their bedroom reading books. How about that? Should I try a different one?
Yeah, do a different one.
I'll go with this one, even though it's similar. Let's see what it
Well, I
does.
mean, you could. Okay, try it.
I mean, but I feel like there's more. I'll go with this one. Let's go with that. Use this image. Now, before I click this arrow, I do want all of you to see that there's an option for style. We can choose what that style looks like.
Okay, pick a style.
So, cinematic, aspect ratio could be for presentation, could be for social media. Let's go social media this time. Match the image, match the style, match the design, use the colors and feel of your image, use the arrangement and layout. I'm going to go keep this one. And then strength. What do we want this to look like? Subtle, balanced, strong?
Try strong. I'm curious.
Do we?
Or balanced.
Yeah. And then I'll click the arrow.
And
Probably
the
just,
truth is that click and play, I think we forget that we can click and play, use it as a playground and learn with it and not just skip things over. That's how we learn.
I feel like it made me a boy in one of them. Made us white.
This is where we would say that any generative AI has a bias and it chose the bias.
It did.
But that's a conversation. I mean, we've talked about that, and you have to push ChatGPT because in education, I would say that that's why we want more students to have access to learning about coding and putting their voice in the codes. Because what coders do is they go grab all the other people's codes, and instead of having to rebuild it, they might take someone's code and add their language to it. The problem with that is that you're taking all their biases with you. So that we have to give Canva, some grace and say, now tell it what you really want. So like you really look at this image because you can see that there are people with brown skin. You have to tell it. And it defines biracial by what it wants, because biracial could be any type of biracial. It doesn't mean it's
Right. Okay, that's fair. Let's try this again. Add media. We're going to go with
go with the same
this one.
photo.
This one. Use image. Style. Cinematic.
Mm-hmm.
Aspect ratio.
You did social media,
Instagram. Match
match
the style.
style, and then we said balanced, I think. Yeah. Okay.
Pray. Cross your fingers.
Yeah,
Let's see.
and you have to have an expectation that it's not going to come out perfectly. And that's why you keep updating the prompt.
Oh,
Okay, so now we're better.
I'm liking this.
Much better.
Our hands
I'm
look really
curious if you
weird
could,
down here. I'm feeling like we got some hands as legs,
yeah, it's a little weird,
but these look good.
but click on that one.
With this one,
Yeah.
I'm gonna download it. Edit. I think this looks pretty good. I think that, if you are someone that has always wanted to try something, whether it's write a book, whether it's write a children's book, whether it's creating content or working with your kids, or if you're like in your case in the education space, this is, you could bring in your class and teach them how to write their own books. And then they could use their own images to create a storybook. Now, this could have been an awesome Mother's Day gift.
That what I'm thinking about is what that could look like in a classroom. And because many school districts have Canva, teachers have it, and it gives kids a chance to talk about themselves it gives them a voice in speaking, because kids will explain and demonstrate their creativity. But when we ask them to explain somebody else's work, like read this book and summarize or give me the main characters, but if they create the main characters, they're more likely to talk about it. My brain is on fire right now. Like there's so many things you can do, but even in the arena of, businesses, it can give people who work for a company to get creative in their own right too. Like it doesn't have to just be education. It could be whatever arena you're in.
in the real estate space, if you're someone that's trying to figure out new ways to have conversations with a potential audience, this is a great opportunity. If I were to go and speak at my kid's school, or what is it, the not show and tell, but if I'm going to go educate the next generation, I could do it at their
Like career
level.
day.
Yeah, there it is. This Here's your opportunity to introduce your own content. I feel like
What
this
I
is kind of cool.
what I
You can go
really
share your screen and test the other option.
well, I'm going to share my screen and test the other option. And while we're, let me just say this. Could you imagine that you could, in real estate, you could create a guide for, you know, buying your first home, a guide for your second home, a guide for your, buying additional properties, and you have not just a book cover, but it could be a graphic guide. It doesn't have to be just
Oh,
that's why I almost
the
don't even want
pathways
to
to home
go to, I
ownership.
almost don't even want to share what I'm thinking. Like that can be a part two, like, because the graphic guide, the graphic, we have graphic novels, we have comics, but could you create a guide that's 20 pages long, but it's graphic and it's visual and it's colorful? And I mean, wow.
But because you can, what I like about this is, and I'll just share this and then we'll wrap this.
What I
You can go
really,
share your screen and test the other option.
well, I'm going to share my screen and test the other option. And while we're, let me just say this. Could you imagine that you could,
Up and come talk more about it again. But what you don't know is once you have these images, you have the ability over to the left to use tools like brush. You can you let me go back. You have all of these different options for effects. So no, you've even got Magic Studio. Like you could take away the background. You can background generator. Like you have so many options
well,
in Canva that we don't even know are available. So
right. The
I
click
can
and play playground, play in the playground, see what happens. You can always use the back button if you don't like it.
the
So
the
many
the
things.
sky is the limit. And I'll let me just recap for all of you that are like, wait a minute, what did they just talk about? And we went the simple route. So when
Right.
you log into Canva and you go home, there's a new option up here called Canva AI. When you click, you have the ability to design, create an image, draft a doc or code. And when you click create an image, you every single month, if you have the pro version, you can create 500 new images. So you might as well get in here and use them. If you don't have the paid version, you get 50. And 50 might just be good enough. I would say to all of you, I would challenge you to invest in Canva. And maybe I'll put my link down at the bottom so you can just click and start. It's worth the $10 a month, I think, if you pay for it up front. I do believe that's what it still is. Or what is it, about 13 or $14 a month if you pay monthly? That to me is just don't go to get a coffee with 2 pumps of vanilla and extra everything. That's the cost of one cup of coffee and a lemon loaf.
Lemon loaf, yeah.
That sounds
Or
about right.
get your coffee and know that anything that you purchase when you have a business or not a business, you can use it as a deduction on your taxes because it is growth for you and a hobby. So there are other things.
So give everybody your two takeaways, and we want you to come back and see it.
My two takeaways: using any type of generative AI will help you become more productive. A think tank, it helps you become creative and you didn't even know you could be creative. Like that was one thing that I just saw. And the other thing that you can do is it can help you forward think about things you didn't know you could do with not just ChatGPT, but with other platforms that have generative AI, because that was really creative. And now it made me think about something I wasn't thinking about, like the graphic guide. I had no idea, but what it does is it helps us think about our thinking.
So,
My two takeaways: using any type of generative AI.
so
What
my
about
two
you?
takeaways are log in, Test it out, use it today. My second ask for all of you is if you try it, wherever you are watching this, whether it's YouTube or LinkedIn or Facebook, type in the feed that you've tested it, how you used it, and what you learned from it. I'm Carrie Little. I am a real estate agent in Illinois and Florida. I own a brokerage, Caremark Realty Group. You can find me as Carrie Joe Little everywhere. Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
And I am Dr. Mina, and you can find me everywhere as Mina J. Blazy, except on YouTube, it's MJ Blazy.